I shouldn't have said anything.
We're live. Where am I? And this one we don't need. This one we don't need.
Like when you delete it. Oh, it's not clean. So scary. When you say it does.
Cool. At the moment we have 0 viewers. That's fun. All right. Good morning, everybody. Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to the media conversation.
NBM.
Really?
Yeah.
Read it.
No, I was interested.
Okay. Cool. Let's see. All right. So we have 6 hours of media coding session, and at the same time, of course, we have 2 hours times 2 of the communication committee session. Do you already know which sessions you're going to go to? What the committees? Are you going to come on someone? Everyone? Maybe. Okay. So what we're going to do here during the media coding is talk a bit more in general about communication managers, about communication leaders in international, the role of communication managers. In the ComCom session, you'll find out a bit more specifically about the services that ComCom provides and all these materials that you can use. You get to see it a little bit more practically hands-on as well. Cool. All right. So before we start, I suppose we'll do a little bit of an introduction. So we'll go around. We'll start with John. And you would say your name, your role on the national level, and if you're not a communication manager, why you're here. And yeah, maybe what you expect as well with 1 viewer. 2 viewers. Hello. Okay, so now it's people in your room.
Oh, I look good. Sorry, Trevor. I'm from the UK. I'm conference manager. I have been since February, and I have a big on that.
Right. And your expectations from this?
Obviously, very confident because I have been doing a very long section last year, and I moved it forward really quick. So, from my experience, I can get from you guys better.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm Jasmine. I'm actually from Germany, but I'm living in the Netherlands. As you can see. Well, for now I was elected as the manager. Yeah, but we have this special situation in that we don't have an art, so I think that next meeting we're going to there anymore. We're going to take you guys. Might also be that I will be there, so we will see. Yeah, in the Netherlands we have external relations, which is education officer, which is from that, and communication PR. Yeah. And what I expect from me, so it's something to surprise.
All right. It's also the first time that we're having a communication manager, or like someone in charge of communication. As a portfolio,
yeah.
Not as a individual position. Okay, cool.
Sorry, is there a communication with the sound quality on the
it sounds good.
Not just a message.
I guess we have to speak up. Wait, because when I talk, you can hear, right? I don't know who that is.
It's not.
Meryl, can you hear us? Can you hear me?
Yeah. Maybe it's too far away.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much I can do. The speaker is a speaker. You'll have to speak up, I suppose. Just bandwidth usage settings. No, there's a. We'll have to see about that. All right, Evelina.
Well, I'm a communication manager. I guess I'm living for a long time. So tired. I hope this is gonna be my last event. I hope. But, well, the future will see.
This is what you're gonna be like again.
Exactly. I still have 3 months, so, but.
Yeah, let's see time.
Yeah. Well, it's summer, so we have a rest. Anyways. Yeah, I want to come from, and my expectations for this, basically, I think I want to share my experience. I'm not sure that I need to learn something more. It would be nice, but basically, I want to share my experience, what I have.
All right. We'll have plenty of space for that. All right, go for it.
Okay, I'm Sarah. I'm communication management in Portugal. I'm finishing my medic, so it's also my last event. My medic ends at the end of July. I'm also in Comcom, and my expectations. I expect I'll learn something. What it is, I don't know. I'm open to learning. And teach. I don't know that I have that much to teach. Maybe.
Do you have any communication manager?
We haven't elected anyone yet. Our elections are on the 5th of July. 15. Yeah, some of weekends. So we have a prospect from ESM Porto, the current community manager isn't it? But we'll see. No, you're not. No, you're not.
Okay, thanks. So,
And last month, I'm a marketing manager and also we have a communication manager. I'm treasurer, so we have communication managers. And we don't have a communication manager in Hungary, so we couldn't have one, because nobody wanted to be. So we made a team, communication team, and I'm in charge of that. So we have to evaluate some users from you because they have huge problems.
communication team, you said, yeah? How many people are in the team? Two. Communication duo. We'll find out a little bit more about how things work in your country a little bit later on. So?
Yeah, my name is Ina. I'm a student. Actually, I'm a national coordinator. Of University.
Ah, Iris. Cool.
Nós vamos precisar da nossa da family joint aqui. And I speak the best because I generally my bottom section is like improve a lot that I do like image wise and like writing of ESM, but there's still so much to give and to learn, so like I just
Cool.
oh, that's pretty.
So hello, my name is Kozak. I'm a student here at in Robert, and I'm a communication manager. And my expectations are I will run some reviews and tips.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. All right.
I offer promotion. We have our NBM Lisbon, and I was recently accepted into performance development. So
So yeah, we have a lot of expectations. Actually, we got a really good learn.
All right, good. Thank you very much. We have 4 members of the committee at the moment. The committee committee. I think Dasha is going to join us probably at some point, the vice chair for branding, the current vice chair for branding. And Pavel, I think, will join us tomorrow with an exam at the moment. And they will both also be hosting communication committee sessions. I believe it's, I don't know, tomorrow and Sunday, if I'm not wrong. Anyway, my name is Gaffar. I'm originally from Erasmus University in Rotterdam. I did my bachelor's degree in communication media, actually social sciences, communication science, not so much design and that kind of stuff. Yeah, well, I've been a communication manager now since July, and I'll be until next July for a 2-year mandate. I hope to see you again as well at the next event. Okay. Are there any questions up until this point of time? Everything cool? All right. First of all, before we go anywhere, we have a bit of a distinction to make, because in the structures of ESN, we are reviewing things a little bit, and we're trying to, let's say, make things a bit more coherent. As you may know, or as you may not know, we are working on the development of communities. So since about a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago, we are building, a community of presidents and community of presidents, education officers, liaison officers, one group of people, the treasurers and partnership managers. And we have a communication community as well. It's the idea is still not fully developed yet, but just to give you an idea, we have, just to say 3 times on writing, we have a common community. And the main meeting of the communication community is the communication summit. So in theory, we have 4 opportunities a year to meet each other. The communication summit times 2. Supposedly, it hasn't happened last spring, but we should be having 2 times communication summits a year and 2 times NBMs a year, which is, of course, the meeting colleague session. Also times 2 again. Now, the important distinction to make before we go any further is it looks at the moment that the NBMs are going to be a bit more discussions in small sessions. And the reason for that is we only have 6 hours of meet your colleague session, broke up into 3 different sessions. But at the same time, also it's not so easy always to get all the relevant people in one place for the NBM, because when you attend the NBM, you attend on behalf of the national board, and you might have other priorities besides communication. And it's a lot easier to organize a communication-focused event, completely communication-oriented, when you have a complete 4 days, with all kinds of team building, workshops, and you have access to more facilities and guests and things like that. So this is the idea behind the communication summit, training and sharing. All right, training and sharing. So the communication summit, what it looks like is we are also going to go into a general kind of what is communication in ESN. There will be opportunities for each country to share practices, share their, let's say, what they're proud of in terms of communication. There'll be a series of different workshops in all kinds of different areas. At the moment, I'm kind of here by myself moderating. Hopefully, we'll get one or two other people from ComCom to join us. But let's see, what was I saying? Yeah, okay, so we have the best practices, the sharing, and also, things that are a little bit more interactive. The idea behind Communication Summit is you have the national communication managers, of course. You'll have the international project communication officers, as we call them now, not PR managers anymore. We'll get to that topic later on. So we have the national communication managers, the project communication officers, we have the ComCom checking team as well, if not all three, at least two of them. We'll have also the committees, international committees also have communication officers now, or still called PR managers, but at least, yeah, that's the idea. But we will then get, basically the who's who of communication. Everyone who is involved in communication is in one way or another invited to the event. Which brings me very nicely now to the Communication Summit that is coming up, the third Communication Summit that we will ever organize. Hello, welcome. From the 31st to the 24th of July, next month in Brussels. So before we move forward, do you guys know if you yourselves or your countries, some representative, will be able to join?
I know that.
Okay, so
I tried because we have elections on the weekend before, and I tried to push, because we have a transition weekend the weekend after, and I tried to push for later, but nobody wanted that. So, supposedly the newly elected communication manager was going to go, but we couldn't push the transition weekend.
Okay.
We won't be there.
All right, well, at least you're here now. We'll have some topics to talk about this weekend. Somebody, yeah, no?
Yeah, I was thinking that we send the new communication manager or maybe our communication committee chair. But it seems that's not gonna happen. So Daria said you are going or you are going. So.
I'll emphasize again, of course, it doesn't necessarily have to be the communication manager, especially if the communication manager cannot come, or communication manager doesn't exist in your country. Then we can also have the chair of the communication committee of your country, or just someone who would be able to pass on the message. Think about it. Anyone else? Do you guys know if you are going to be able? Yeah, Silopka will probably be there. It's pretty close by. Cool. And the rest of you, I sent out an email yesterday, I believe. So you have all this information. If you want to know a little bit more, we can talk about it. Sarah, you can.
Okay.
You can.
Let me think. You surprised me there.
Actually, everything has your both of you, no?
Yeah. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, come on. You tell them.
The veterans.
Oh my God, we're all. Okay, so the first thing is we have to build that you get to know. Okay, I'll talk to you. You get to know the other community mentors, more or less the work that they're doing, what they're expecting to achieve on the next year. You have discussions,
presentation, and so on. Yeah. Basically, real communication summit. Who can be there? Only us?
Yes.
that's why we have.
Okay. So basically, during the communication summit, we have a lot of workshops. It's mostly about communication, mostly. But let's say I had a presentation about what? About it was like those very. Oh, about how to communicate, how to make a really good content for your international information. Yeah, so basically you can share your ideas, your practices and so on. And if you have any problems, you can always share it, and people like sitting and solving it. So I think it's good. And well, I thought it would be nice to have every 2 months this kind of event. So
Yeah, it would be very
yeah,
nice.
That's it. I'm exhausted already. Don't do that.
yeah.
But yeah,
People already have like a lot of it. It would be nice, like in an ideal world where you can actually have fun. But
yeah. Okay, so yeah, it's, I mean, if you're a communication manager, then I think Communication Summit is the event for you. In fact, I would even argue if you had to choose between the summit and the NBM, we'll have a lot more opportunity to really go in depth and in detail at the summit as opposed to the NBM. So keep this in mind for the coming summit, but also, I believe, in December, if not in January, is when we'll do the next one. Of course, it's a little bit early at the moment, but we'll discuss it when the time comes.
One of the questions, when is the registration open?
2-3 weeks, I think. Give me a second.
So, July 7th.
That's true. So 3 weeks from now. Yeah, exactly. So 3 weeks from now, on July 7th. Of course, we'll have to do a little bit of preparation as well, so we can't really prolong the deadline too much. But in case you have any questions, you can ask later on personally as well. All right. So that's it for now. To give you an idea of how the meetings are structured, and at the same time, I envision as well, if you are present, for example, at the regional platforms and at the AGM, that you might also be either able to offer workshops yourself or cooperate with other people and really start to build a community of people, start talking to each other a little bit and feel a bit of an ownership into the community. Okay, cool. That's it for now. What we're going to do now is we're going to drop a little bit of an agenda. I have a couple of ideas for topics that I'd like to talk about, but I want to hear from you what kind of topics you are interested in discussing. What you think is important in your countries, what kind of, let's say, issues you think your fellow communication managers, maybe myself, could help you with. So I hope you thought a little bit about about what kind of topics you want to bring up. We're gonna try and see how we can get them all together. Before I go anywhere else, does anybody have any topics off the top of their head? Evelina?
External mass media.
Mass media. Cool.
National communication policies.
National communication committees. How many do you have them? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, quite a few. Good. National communication committees.
I have more if you want.
Well, if you want to talk about them, we'll put it on the board and then we'll see what happens.
National communication trainings.
Okay. National committees. National trainings.
I could start.
All right.
And I think one important thing is motivation.
Yeah.
Motivation. Okay. Motivation of what?
Communication training.
Okay. Of this community.
Yeah.
Community. All right. Good. We're just getting started. Yep. It's whatever that you're dealing with. So if you have, as a communication manager, certain issues that you're facing with the local level, we can talk about it now as well. Okay, so is there something specific, promotion campaign of the event or of the events? of a partner.
Big events are really good. You're really good one. Maybe it should.
Promotion events.
Actually,
Or it's kind of in the,
for this one,
Cool.
but it's a bit more, yeah, it's different than promotion of
so
events.
silly.
How do I say it? Because I don't say it in a few words.
Okay, you can tell us the story.
I don't want to tell you the story. Sorry guys, I didn't sleep. Like the cohesion of the communication of national events, that's what I want to say. But it goes deeper than that because it's a matter like if they agree or not to comply with the communication of national events. Did this make sense?
If they agree not to comply with
If they agree to comply with the communication of national events. Like you follow this line of communication for national events, for example, but then they decide to just do something by themselves because why not?
Okay, so it's more about the relationship between the national board and, let's say, event OCs, or no, I got it wrong.
It's more like the relationship. If you're going by the relationship part, it would be more like local communication management. Or
It might be like the relationship.
like or their independence. Like how far can they do by themselves?
Right.
Or how far can you just?
Right. Okay, we'll bring this up with the local communication managers. All right. Cool. What about? Yeah.
I think it's kind of important with communication and national board. It's like not like promotion from, but normal communication face to face. Because as I saw, it's kind of sometimes it's kind of complicated to talk with people in your national board. So I think
Okay.
it's
Let's say internal communication.
yeah.
Internal communication. All right. Cool. What about the guys in the back? Or on this side? Okay.
Maybe something that is maybe small, sometimes the ways to like communication and interactive sections. We have, for example, topics that we want through email, but that's not really working. And okay, for formal things in email, I think this is also really important for yes, useful and stuff. But I see that there is not much participation in the topic of, let's say, national event or let's say social media. It's not really working, and I really want to find actually a better way
To stimulate conversation.
with this section about something more.
Okay. Okay, let's say topic of the month. Now, this is a good topic to talk about as well, because this is something that we can benefit from as a community. And then we'll decide whether this is some, a route that we want to go down. I'll hold it at that for now. Italy, Czech Republic, someone else? CI.
Okay.
Thank you.
And I don't know, in terms of the integration of the internal presentation of data, the local level of presenting data.
Right. Okay. Okay. How to present using. Present in 4 sections, let's say. Alright, we have a bunch of topics I think we have we're quite long, but is there something that you think hasn't been covered yet? For now, it's okay. Maybe we'll come up with some ideas later on. All right. So we're gonna structure this a little bit. We're gonna try and tackle a couple of these topics. I wanted to start off also with something a little bit more general before we go into some in-depth stuff. We will have something on internal communication tomorrow with Pavel when he gets here. I think this is probably quite an important topic as well. It's going to be something that everyone is involved in. Here I want to get into a little bit of discussion there on how we handle corporate identity and that kind of stuff. Mass media is becoming quite a big topic, especially in the past year. There have been events that attract media attention. National committees. There are quite a few of you here that actually have committees, so we can share amongst each other how it works and how to optimize it in that sense. Let's see. National training events, I think, could be also related in a way. And your communication with sections. So these two are linked together. Your local communication managers, how you communicate with them, and how you can educate them about these in general. Okay.
We still have topic 41.
True. Topic 41. All right.
And we have motivation.
And motivation of community. Okay.
Can national trainings also be related to ASM perceptions? Because you're basically training for them.
You could. Okay, so we dropped a little bit of an agenda here. Let's say this topic: sections, local communication managers, national trainings, and topic of the month. So let's say for the sake of summary, sections is one of them. Where is it now? Local communication managers and national trainings and topic of the month. Okay, I propose we go through these, if not tomorrow, the day after, so that we can have a bit more time. We might even need the entire thing. Tomorrow we will have internal communication. As part of it, and let's see if we can fit in something else there. National committees might maybe fit in there. All right, and we still have mass media, CI, motivation. I propose we talk about motivation at the end as a kind of a wrap up, and also like how we're going to carry on here to the summit and to other events in the future. So we'll have that as a bit of a wrap up session. And now we have 3 topics: CI, mass media. Okay, well, I suppose CI can go in there as well. Yeah, because it's mostly dealing with sections and CI stuff. Okay. So CI is covered. Then we'll have mass media and promotions, which let's put it into different topics. Promotion and form mass media. let's say, 5 general topics, sections, and all the things related to it. Internal communications tomorrow, along with national communication committees. National communication committees, we have some material actually from Portugal that we can use as a base, and then we'll build up upon it with all your experiences as well. Promotion of events and partners. Partners, who actually deals with partners yourselves? Ish, okay. Yeah. Okay, so you collaborate with the partnership manager. All right. We'll talk a little bit about mass media, I suppose, during the third session on Sunday, and we'll finish up motivation and next steps. This will bring topic of the month, and also one mass media for national committees, two. Where are we now? National trainings is also one. Motivation, 5. Promotion, 8. Local communication managers, 1. 2. Internal communication, 2. And 1. Okay, let's check the time. 11:15. 11:15, so we've got 45 minutes now, yeah? We have 11, yeah, so we've got about 45 minutes now. Okay, I need a bathroom break. So let's take a 2 or 3 minutes so we can go into something a bit more detailed. Now, up until this point in time, we've sketched out the agenda. We have a clearer idea of what the NBM Communication Summit is. We'll dive a bit deeper in a few minutes. Little break.
Amazing. It's labyrinth. Confusing my stuff.
And I was like, oh, okay, I know that. Yeah, the number. I think some of them 80%.
Yeah. Because there was a renovation of the.